From the fifth spot to the top of the heap, we're about to break down the teams that are in the most critical position heading into the NFL offseason. When it comes to free agency, the stakes couldn't be higher. In less than a week, athletes will be presented with the opportunity to take their talents to new teams, potentially securing life-changing contracts. But for general managers and franchise owners, the task is even more daunting. Spend wisely, plan meticulously, and ensure your team is poised for success. The financial flexibility to make moves, combined with the need to develop a competitive roster, makes the decisions of these teams pivotal. So, without further ado, let's dive into this week's power rankings for teams who must get it right this offseason. Let's start with an honorable mention, the San Francisco 49ers. With John Lynch at the helm, they're ready to pay quarterback Brock Purdy. But things are already shifting on the offensive side. After trading away star wideout Deebo Samuel, and with Brandon Ayuk potentially on the trading block, the pressure to build the perfect offense around Purdy is mounting. Though the 49ers have the pieces to contend, they didn't crack the top 5 this time around. Coming in at number 5 are the New England Patriots, a team sitting with one of the highest-paid coaches in the league, a promising second-year quarterback, and an impressive $130 million in cap space. The Patriots are under intense pressure to hit on their free agency moves. With a top 5 draft pick at their disposal, the franchise's future hinges on their ability to surround their young quarterback with the right pieces to develop and flourish. The most valuable commodity in the NFL today is a starting quarterback on a rookie deal, and the Patriots are in a prime position to make that work. But to do so, the priority has to be the offensive line. A key to success in the modern NFL is the ability to protect your quarterback, and with players like Drake, May potentially leading the charge, New England needs to focus on building a formidable line. The Lions and Eagles proved this season how important line play is in success. Get it right in the trenches, and everything else can fall into place. For the Patriots, offensive line should be the focus, but don't forget about adding some weapons around May as well. To complete the defense, adding a lockdown corner like Travis Hunter alongside Christian Gonzalez could give New England the ability to disrupt opposing offenses, a crucial component in an increasingly competitive AFC. Number 4 on the list is the Dallas Cowboys. After some questionable moves last season, the Cowboys are in a precarious spot. They've created some cap space by restructuring the contracts of key players like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. But the bigger question remains, can they continue to add talent without blowing up their financial future? Despite the talent on the roster, Dallas hasn't been able to take that next step. This offseason, they need to focus on improving the roster while still managing their financial flexibility. While many feel the Cowboys' offseason plan is straightforward, history has shown that building a championship-caliber team isn't as simple as collecting talent. The Cowboys need to make some tough decisions about where to allocate resources. This isn't just about getting better. It's about setting the franchise up for long-term success while Prescott is in his prime. The Cowboys' situation is complex, but the clock is ticking. If they don't make the right moves, they risk wasting the prime years of their franchise quarterback. In the third spot are the Chicago Bears. This is a team that is on the cusp of something big. With a new head coach in Ben Johnson and a solid coaching staff in place, the Bears have the tools to turn things around. With the second overall pick in the draft and a hefty $80 million in cap space, they have the resources to build a competitive roster around their young quarterback, Caleb Williams. The offensive line, which has been a major issue for the Bears, needs to be reshaped. With 3 starters hitting the free agent market, it's imperative that the team addresses this issue. No excuses. The Bears need at least 2 new starters on the line, and they can't afford to ignore the defense either. The pass rush, in particular, needs help. Montez Sweat can't be the only player generating pressure on the quarterback. The Bears' playoff hopes depend on how aggressive they are in addressing these issues. If they fail to make the right moves, General Manager Ryan Poles could be out of a job. The pressure is on to build a competitive team quickly. Chicago simply cannot afford another year of underperformance. Coming in at number 2 are the Cincinnati Bengals. With a star quarterback in Joe Burrow, a solid core of talent, and a championship window open, the Bengals are in a delicate balancing act. They recently placed the franchise tag on wide receiver T. Higgins, But there's still the looming question of how they can pay both Higgins and Jamar Chase, while also giving Burrow the help he needs. The Bengals' financial flexibility is at a crossroads. If they want to keep their core intact, they may have to make tough decisions about who stays and who goes. The pressure on Cincinnati is immense, as they are in a division where competition is intensifying. The Bengals' future success hinges on their ability to keep their stars happy while also filling the remaining holes on the roster. The clock is ticking for the Bengals to put together a Super Bowl contender, but if they can't navigate this financial crunch, they risk being left behind. Finally, at number 1 are the Washington Commanders. They may not have been a title contender last year, but they're ahead of schedule and primed to make a leap. With $83 million in cap space, they have the opportunity to build a championship-caliber roster quickly. Adding a versatile weapon like Deebo Samuel was a great start, but the Commanders need more. They need wide receivers, help on the offensive line, particularly at tackle, and another dynamic running back. The quarterback situation remains a question mark, but the Commanders can no longer afford to rely on their quarterback as their leading rusher. Washington is closer than many realize to building an elite offense, and if they can fortify that strength, they have the potential to compete with NFC powerhouses like the Philadelphia Eagles in 2025. This is the Commanders' moment to seize, and they must act decisively to capitalize on their financial flexibility. As the offseason heats up, these 5 teams, Washington, Cincinnati, Chicago, Dallas, and New England, have crucial decisions to make. They have the resources, but can they spend wisely? Time will tell. But one thing is clear. These teams must get it right if they hope to compete for championships in the near future.